Hey, thanks for coming back to the channel. I want to go over a story that just happened a couple days ago, and it's a fatal shooting. But I want to give you some backdrop, and then I want you to think about what your personal response would be and what your thinking is after hearing what the facts are, as reported by some witnesses and the police. So, all the headlines on this about this story start off with off-duty firefighter killed in shootout at convenience store. So, off-duty firefighter. So you immediately think firefighter is a good guy, right? I mean, you have to, because that's the way we've been trained. Red stripe, first responder, all that good stuff. And when you hear the profile of the people that were in conflict with this person, you will make the other prejudgment about them. And I'll tell you what mine was, right? And then we'll open it up to the conversation. So, a young man, 24-ish, and he's a black man. I know this because I saw the video. And the firefighter is a white guy, or white enough. And he's 40-something, big dude. 24-year-old's a little runt, hood rat. Little guy, though. So you got big guy, little guy. The little guy is in the store, the 24-year-old is in the store, having an argument with the clerk, who's a female young lady, 24-ish. And the young man is upset because the store isn't carrying his brand of cigars. So he's creating a ruckus verbally, and the clerk is asking him to leave. Meanwhile, the firefighter is in his car and overhears the commotion, goes into the convenience store and confronts the young man, and then proceeds to get him to leave. What actually happens is they both end up going outside the convenience store and engage in the monkey dance. They start what I would like to call agreed to combat with each other. In other words, they're duking it out in the parking lot, right in front of the store. Before they start duking it out, the kid goes to his car and gets a gun, a handgun. Brings the handgun, and it has an extended mag, so it's a Glock or something, but it has an extended mag on it. So he gets the gun, and now he and the firefighter are grappling. They're grappling. The gun ends up on the ground, and so now it's a wrestling match on the ground. The firefighter, it has mounted him from the rear and has got him in a chokehold. That chokehold. So the firefighter is administering a chokehold, trying to choke him out and doing other things. In the meantime, the young man's girlfriend, who was in their car, gets out. She sees that her boyfriend or friend or whoever is getting the worst of the situation. I mean, he's getting beat up, pretty badly. The gun is on the ground. She picks up the gun. She's yelling at the firefighter, get off him, that kind of stuff. Because basically the fight is over. But the firefighter continues to try to strangle him, try to choke him out. And he's laying on top of the guy. So she shoots him one time in the back, because that's the target. Center of mass happens to be his back, because he's not getting up. And that's a fatal shot. Right? She is arrested. The young man is arrested It turns out that he's a felon, wasn't supposed to be in possession of a firearm. Turns out she was clean. It also turns out that the prosecutor, district attorney, chose not to press charges against the woman because of the state of Missouri's self-defense law. So they said this was a righteous self-defense shoot. Why? Because, as in almost every state, I know it is here, you can use deadly force if there's imminent threat of serious personal injury or death if you don't intervene. Clearly, if someone is in a chokehold and it's strong against weak, big against small, that's disparity of force, and I can see why the prosecutor rendered a self-defense, because she was defending the guy on the ground, because you can use deadly force in defense of others who are in that threat. Now, she will not be charged for anything. He is going to be charged for several things. One of them, obviously, is a felon, a violent felon, for that matter, in possession of a firearm. Now, I came to the conclusion. First, I was glad that self-defense was in fact used, and it was a state like Missouri. But when I heard the facts, I actually was disappointed. I don't like to see firefighters, our heroes, police, EMTs, hurt like any kind of way. But I was mad at the press for using the fact that he was a firefighter and off duty, and somehow that mattered. It did not matter at all. They were just trying to use a headline to deflect what the truth was. Now, here's my view. This was a road rage incident on the ground. Road rage incident on the ground, right? So many mistakes made. And the firefighter, my sense, it's called mind your own business. It was not up to him to go into the store and start doing something, and he was unarmed, by the way, and doing something to try to get this young man to leave. That's what the police are for. That's what the police are for. You don't go in and then you want to have your way with somebody. You want to put your hands on somebody. You certainly don't walk out into the parking lot like you did in high school and engage in a fight. That's just stupid. That's just stupid, right? The woman, the girlfriend, wife, whichever her relationship was, and if you saw the video, she was actually afraid because the guy was, he was mounted from the rear. You've seen a lot of situations and heard a lot of situations where somebody's choked out and they never come back from that. So that is a imminent threat of serious bodily injury or death. And you have and there is a right to use deadly force to stop that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that the young black man who was on the ground now and mounted from the rear by a bigger white guy, that's irrelevant. Whatever he was doing in the store is over. The firefighter or off-duty firefighter or the guy who thought he was going to be a good Samaritan had there was no reason for him to get involved that way. Certainly should never have gone outside into the parking lot. He could have stayed in the store, called 911 to make sure they would come and remove this guy. Why? Because they knew he was going out to get a gun. So that was the result. Someone who we all would say is a scumbag doesn't die, a hero, so-called off-duty firefighter, does get killed, but he gets killed for using deadly force on somebody, and he got stopped from doing that. There's all the pictures of the firefighter and his cute dog, and his girlfriend who's crying, and he has a daughter. Hey, what's the rule? Mind your own business, keep your hands to yourself, and don't go after a fight. So that's me. But now I'm very interested in what you all have to say about this. So if you like this content, please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and as always, thanks for watching, and carry on.